If you've applied to over 100 positions and you're getting rejection after rejection and you're starting to just feel like you're ready to give up and you're feeling super, super frustrated and depleted, this video is for you. Keep on watching. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chanel Miller and I am a recruiter. A lot of my videos, a lot of my content and things like that you guys have seen before, it has definitely been in the space of more life coaching, more professional, personal development. I share a lot about my faith, as well as my spirituality and my relationship with God. But recently I have been called to share more about the recruiting aspect of things, coming from the perspective of a recruiter. So I have actually been in the recruiting industry for over 8 years. I have worked on so many different positions. I've ran a full desk. I currently run a full desk right now as a full-time recruiter, as well as a mama. That's also a whole job in itself. But I have just seen some things and some areas that a lot of people are continuously running into, and God has really placed it on my heart to talk to the job seeker, the person right now who just feels like they have no idea where to start. They feel like they just keep getting rejection after rejection. And they're just in a place right now where they're like, what am I doing wrong? You feel like it's you. And I just want to say that it's not you. And I am here to just help share my knowledge and the things that I've learned over my 8 years in the industry, and just really kind of give back to my community and people who look like me. I see a lot of videos on YouTube about the resumes, the LinkedIn, all that different stuff, which we'll dive into more videos about that. I wanted more people who look like me, more women of color, more high achievers who are just getting passed by on opportunities because they just maybe aren't doing a few things here or a few things there that could really increase their chances of being seen by a recruiter, which will then lead to an interview, which will then hopefully land you to the opportunity that is meant for you. So that is the purpose of this video, but I wanted to kick things off and talk to you out there who is currently, maybe you're watching this video as you're applying to another 150th job. I've been on LinkedIn and I see these messages all the time where people are like, I've applied to over 100 positions and I keep on getting rejected. Oh my God, when I see those messages, my heart just truly goes out to them, because it's never easy to experience rejection after rejection, or sometimes even being ghosted by recruiters and never even hearing anything back. That's never an easy thing to go through. So to put yourself through that over and over and over and over again, that is exhausting. So I understand where you're coming from, and I just hope that this video helps give you a little bit more clarity and just helps you in this job search process so you don't feel so depleted and frustrated throughout while you're looking for work, because that's already exhausting in itself. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is that be aware that the market right now is just nuts, okay? It is what it is. The market is just kind of crazy. I mean, the market's always kind of crazy a little bit, but it's really crazy right now. So a lot of what you're doing, you have to be extremely, extremely strategic when it comes to applying to positions, what roles you're looking for, what companies you're looking for. Gone are the days of just applying to a position blankly, not even really thinking it through and hoping that you're going to get an interview. I go through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of resumes in a week, and if the candidate does not meet those minimum qualifications, unfortunately, I have to keep it moving. My job as a recruiter is to help my clients place candidates in their open roles. And so if you are not able to communicate effectively what your experience and qualifications are and how it actually matches the position, you're probably going to be getting missed, which breaks my heart, because I feel like there's so many good candidates out there who just are not being seen because their resumes, their LinkedIn profiles are not being optimized enough for people and hiring managers and recruiters to actually reach out to you and to see your skills and qualifications. So the first thing I just want you to know, to kind of have that peace of mind, is the market is just insane right now, okay? But that does not mean that you should go on the opposite end of things and just keep throwing your resume out there, making it rain, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of applications. Like, that is not the solution that you want to take, okay? So you probably hear a lot of times like, it's a numbers game, it's a numbers game. True. However, the volume of applications, the more resumes that you send, doesn't matter if your experience does not match the qualifications of what the company is looking for. So you can apply till you're blue in the face, but if you don't meet the qualifications, the minimum qualifications, you're not going to get a call back. And so you are essentially just kind of, what do they say? The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Yeah, that is what you're doing. And so it's a hard pill to swallow. And so I really want you to think about, when you're applying to a position, do I match these qualifications? And I'm all about putting yourself out there, reaching for the stars, doing all those things, but you have to do it in a way that's going to make sense. If you're going to reach out to a company and you're applying, now what I'm sharing right now is specifically for the job seekers who are applying online, okay? I'm not talking about networking, talking to people who are within the company. We'll do a whole separate video on that. That's something that you're interested in, and how to kind of have those conversations. That's a little bit easier to get your foot in the door if you don't maybe meet all the qualifications. But when you're applying to a position and they don't know who you are at all, you need to make sure that your experience matches those minimum qualifications, okay? The second thing that I want you to do is to actually slow down in your approach. I'm sure and I know that you're feeling that anxiety. Maybe you've either been laid off or you're feeling like, I need to find a position tomorrow. I get that. I totally understand that feeling. But actually, the more you are trying to push and push and push, you're not allowing God to do what he does and to create and open doors and open opportunities for you. So sometimes we actually just need to take a step back, relax, and slow down and refocus and really get clear on what our focus is. Oftentimes, you're applying to positions just willy-nilly, hoping that someone's going to hear back to you because you're looking for your next job and not your next career. When you're looking for your next career, you're definitely going to be a lot more strategic, and you're going to think things through a little bit more thoroughly versus just blah, 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 applying to any job. Like, I can tell when someone is just rapid firing applying to a position. I'm like, did you even read this position? Like, no, you did not. Don't let that be you, okay? What I want you to do is really to discover your focus. So a way that you can do this is digest and think about, okay, what are the things that I've done in my past positions that I really, really enjoyed? Get out a pen and paper out, look at your positions, and write out the things that you really, really enjoyed, because not only do you want to find a position that matches what you're looking for, but you want to make sure that it's something that you are going to feel fulfilled in and happy about when you're actually going to work day to day. So get a piece of paper out, write down all the responsibilities and duties that you enjoyed. So maybe you really like the vendor management piece and you like working with different vendors, but you don't like finding new vendors, okay? Make that list, get very crystal clear on the skill sets that you enjoy. That way, when you're actually searching out opportunities, you can start to look for roles that are going to be crafted and curated based upon your experience and what you currently thoroughly enjoy. Okay, so if you can't think of things that you're like, ooh, because I know sometimes for me, if I'm put on the spot and I'm like, all right, what am I good at? What are things that I love to do? And if you're in that space where you don't quite know, then that's okay. Just think back on the things where maybe you've had coworkers or your friends, like they always come to you for those types of things. They're always reaching out to you and they're like, hey, will you help me with XYZ? Make a list of that. I had a friend who, for example, she loved to organize. Every time I went over to her house, I'm like, your place is immaculate. Like, you could turn this into something. There are people like me who would pay you to be able to help organize my house and organize, certain things. And she didn't realize that that was a gift, that it just came naturally to her. Like, she enjoyed doing it. It was easy for her. It didn't feel like work. And now, a few years later, she's currently doing that as her business. And that's what she does. And she gets so much fulfillment out of it, because not only does she get to do the things with her hands that she loves to do, but also she's being compensated for it. And lastly, she gets to have these deep connections with her clients and have them be able to go through the things that they love and have that relationship with certain things. So again, ask yourself and just take note of what are things that people just keep on coming to me about, that they just say, oh my God, you're so good at this. That's a huge indicator right there of something that might be a really big gift or strength of yours. I do want to share a Bible verse as well with you that kind of encompasses it all, because God gives us gifts. He gives us special gifts for us to serve others and to help others, okay? So this is 1 Corinthians 12:4-6. Now there are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit, and there are varieties of service, but the same God. And there are varieties of activities, but it is the same God who empowers all in everyone. So God empowers these gifts within you. He gives different gifts to everyone, and there's different ways to go about utilizing your gifts and, sharing them. This is a gift of mine. I know I have the gift of encouraging and helping others, and so I'm trying to continue to build on that gift and to show that gift to others. That is another big thing, is discover your focus, okay? Get clear on what it is that you enjoy doing. Stop applying to positions just for the sake of applying to jobs, and you're going to be miserable, and then you're going to quit, and then you're going to leave that job, and then you're going to have a huge gap in your resume, and it's just like a whole big cycle. When we can prevent that in the front end by just being very strategic and smart about what positions we're actually applying for. All right, and the final point that I want to share is focus on quality over quantity. If you have to apply to over 100+ positions in a week, you are not focused on quality at all. You are just focused on quantity. And that is not what's going to get you the right opportunity for you. That is going to get you burnt out and frustrated and annoyed with the entire job search process. You do not want to do that. You really want to focus on that quality. Of course, like if you're trying to find a new position, you are going to have to apply to positions. I'm not saying don't apply to any jobs at all, but I would suggest, and what shows you as a key indicator of being a little bit more strategic and more focused, is if you are applying to positions online. If you are applying to roughly 2 to 3 jobs a day, or maybe 2 to 3 jobs every 4 to 5 days, or whatever it may be, whatever works for you, as you apply, because you want to be able to reassess what feedback am I receiving. Because if you keep doing the same thing over, we already know what that leads to, definition of insanity. You want to make sure that you are readjusting, tweaking things, shifting your focus as you kind of apply to roles. So I would say a rule of thumb is 2 to 3 positions a day. That way, because we'll talk about this in another video as well, about tailoring your resume, making sure that your resume actually makes sense for the positions that you're applying for. I just realized that my son's jacket is here. He just came home. I don't know if that's been in the frame the whole time, but if it is, whatever. Motherhood. You want to make sure that you are applying to positions that you're not applying to a whole bunch of different jobs. So if you're applying to 2 to 3 jobs a day, you are going to be able to actually tailor your resume. You'll be able to go through the job description and highlight the areas that you actually have experience in, that you have the qualifications, and to be able to speak to them, to quantify them. So then that way you're able to tell your story to a future employer or a recruiter as to why you are a good fit. A recruiter, hiring manager, they will probably look at your resume for about 5 seconds. And if it's not meeting the criteria, then I'm sorry, they will keep it moving. By they, I mean me. I am one of those people. I am said recruiter, okay? And that's just part of the game. There's just so many applications. And so I want you to stop spending so much time applying to job after job after job, over 100 positions, getting those rejections, and starting to internalize those rejections as there's something wrong with you, when in reality, it's just that you're not focused enough. You do not have a clear focus. If I get an application from a candidate and they meet the position, they meet the criteria, I am going to call them. I am going to reach out. And if you don't hear back and you know you're a good fit because you meet those qualifications, and we'll do a different video again on how to kind of tailor your resume, you follow back up with them. They would be like remiss to not reach out to you if you meet the qualifications. But and be honest with yourself, you guys. Stop applying to positions and you just kind of think you meet it, or you're like, oh yeah, I could do the job. And if you can do the job and you say that, your resume needs to be able to speak to it. It can't be the same resume that you're applying to this job and that job and that job. because no two jobs are the same. They're not alike. You have to make sure that you're communicating effectively why you're a good fit for that specific position. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. And I do not want you wasting any more times, because if I see one more person say they've been applying to over 100 plus jobs, I am just so heartbroken for you, and I want you to stop doing that. And I want you to slow down, discover your focus, get clear, find out what are the things that you love and enjoy doing. What are the tasks in your previous jobs that you really liked, or what are some things that you want to start doing more of? Maybe you got a little bit of exposure to it and you want to start doing more of that. That's going to help you start to get a little bit more clarity on the type of positions that you should be looking for, because you're going to get excited. And I can feel that energy. It's like a whole shift and stuff. And like, then you can allow God to do his work, but he's not going to open doors for you for things if you really deep down inside. God knows our hearts. He knows deep down that you don't want that position. You don't want that job. And so when you get the rejection, it's just like, oh man, I got a rejection. But in reality, was that really the job you wanted, sis? Like, ask yourself. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope this gives you some permission to slow down, start working on applying to 2 to 3 jobs, make that your goal a day, or even less if you're even more siloed or in a very, very niche area, because the right opportunity is going to come, but you have to be very, very clear and know exactly what it is that you're looking for. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any other suggestions or comments or any other type of videos that you want to see coming from the perspective of a recruiter who, this is what I do, this is my day job all day, is I work in this professional recruiting space, and I've also done career coaching in the past, leave them down below. I would love to share any knowledge that I have with you. Come here, dude. And we have a special guest, my baby bear. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, let's go. Huh?
We're done now.
Yes, we're done now.